Welcome to the Ultimate Gamer Podcast, a show that features conversations with the trailblazers, thought leaders, decision makers, and investors who are defining the gaming and esports space. On the Ultimate Gamer Podcast, we take a journey into this dynamic industry and start to decode and reveal who and what's making news. It's about connecting, and it's about sharing the stories and vision of the people who make gaming and esports a global phenomenon. And now, please welcome your host, student of the game and connected to the esports community, Tommy Knapp.
What's up, everyone? I'm Tommy Knapp, and this is an all-new episode of the All About the Game podcast presented by The Ultimate Gamer. On today's show, I have a conversation with John Casanova, a professional baseball player in the Texas Rangers system, playing as a pitcher. He is currently in the late stages of his recovery from Tommy John surgery, which is surgery on a player's elbow, and it can typically take anywhere from 1 to 2 years to fully recover. Early in our conversation, John broke down his personal strategy that goes into deciding which type of pitch to throw based on a batter, count, and numerous other factors, including game situation. He talked about baseball in the Dominican Republic and playing makeshift baseball in the DR using a bottle cap and a broomstick. He suggested that if you can manage to hit a bottle cap with a broomstick, you can hit a baseball with a bat. In his free time, John is a gamer and streamer, primarily playing Call of Duty and NBA 2K. Not only does he play games, but he is also a playable character in MLB The Show for the Texas Rangers AA affiliate. John joked that the developers could have done a better job on his in-game appearance. John also shed some light on the challenges of balancing his passion for gaming with a professional baseball schedule, as well as the similarities between gaming and baseball in terms of reading your opponent. Please join me now for my conversation with John Casanova. Just talk. So yeah, you said from the Dominican?
And then I grew up in Illinois, in Waukegan, and then like 3 years ago I moved here to Miami, in Homestead.
Okay.
That's where I live right now.
What position you play?
I'm a pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a
Nice.
pitcher.
What do you throw? Do you throw junk? Do you throw like heat?
It depends. Like I think I'm an aggressive pitcher, so I like using my fastball a lot.
Okay.
Because I think all the pitchers play right after your fastball.
Right.
So I throw fastball, curveball.
But you don't always lead with your fastball
slider.
because then I'll know that as a hitter.
Well, at the beginning of the game, you want to set up your fastball first.
Right.
Like later, like after you see a couple of the hitters and they're already seeing your pitches,
Right.
What I do is I go with my fastball and change up as long as I can in the game. They still haven't seen my slider, my curveball, so that's a plus for me.
So what's the difference when you throw those four pitches? Like you throw a fastball, it's two-seam fastball?
No, I throw a 4-seam fastball.
Four-seam. So you
Yeah.
have all four fingers?
No, not 4 fingers. So like the ball is like this.
Yeah.
Instead of, you see how the seams run like that
Yeah.
and like that?
Yeah.
I hold it across.
Okay.
Where I have all
Got
the
it.
seams.
Got it.
Which is our
That's
fourth.
the difference. And if it's a two-seam, you're throwing with the seams.
Yeah, so 2 seams supposed to go like this, like kind of like
Right.
move at the end.
Tails at the end.
And a 4 seam is supposed to be just a fastball, straight fastball.
Right, right. Is yours rise?
Yeah.
Yours rise a
And
little
mine goes like that a little bit because of the backspin on it.
Right. What do you throw? Like how fast?
Well, the hardest I ever thrown 98 once.
Okay.
But I'm usually around 94, 93, 95.
Okay.
I'm a starter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep it basically. If you can
Yeah.
keep it there, that's throwing hard, by the way, right?
Yeah, I mean, harder than the average people.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of guys.
Well,
trying
when you say
harder.
average people, you mean it's harder than the average pitcher in the majors, right? Because there's not very many people that can throw 95 miles an hour. That's not an average person,
Well, nowadays, you got guys going throwing 100 like nothing.
right?
It's like the whole game is changing.
Right.
Like the longer, like you're in the game and you know, like you got kids coming out of the Dominican signing at 16 years old,
Right.
throwing 98, 100 miles per hour.
So why is that though? Like, what are we genetically changed, or is it just people are
think so.
training smarter? Or?
I think so. It's like all the stuff we have, like the technology, all these exercises that we can do.
Right.
And let's say if you grab a kid when he's like 5, 6 years old and you just train him,
Yeah.
that kid is gonna be good. Because in the Dominican, there's not much opportunity besides baseball.
Right.
That's basically our ticket to get out the island and make something happen for our family.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, man. So when you say that, how many people live on the island?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of people. The island is not little. There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But when you're growing up as a kid, like that's really where kids like say, I'm going to gravitate to baseball because it's just it gives me a great opportunity.
Like I grew up playing ball on the streets.
Yeah.
On the concrete, like if you look at both of my knees right now, they all messed up because it's sliding on the concrete. You know, playing around when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Broomstick and a bottle cap right here.
Well, that's what I saw was a Jose Altuve, the special I saw on him. And if you can learn how to hit a bottle cap that's always going like it's moving, right? If you can hit a bottle cap with a broomstick, hitting a baseball with a baseball bat, it seems like it'd be almost easy.
It's not easy, but it'll be a little bit easier. You know why? Because if you can hit an object that is this small moving against the wind and with the wind and you don't know where it's going, and you hit it with something way smaller, like a broomstick, if you can make contact with that, it's going to be easier for you to make contact with a baseball.
Yeah. Where are you right now in the Rangers system?
Well, I played in low A. That's the Hickory level.
Okay.
And last year I got hurt, Tommy John surgery. So
Are you
I
lefty
got
or righty?
I'm a right-hander.
Righty.
See?
Okay.
But I feel great. I'm almost done with my rehab. I'm doing my throwing, my bullpens, my workouts, and everything I have to do with my rehab. I'm still in contact with everybody in the organizations, even though everybody's at home. But they make sure we have everything we need. So I'm trying to move forward. Hopefully, when all of this is done, with the epidemic, the virus and stuff, we could go back because I actually do miss baseball. A lot.
I want you to run me through that. How are we, Carlos? Good. Yeah. So run me through rehab, man. What's Tommy John surgery like, and then what's the rehab? What's the whole process for you to come back? How long does it take?
Well, it usually takes like from 14 to 16 months.
Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah. So I missed the whole season. I wasn't going to play this year at all, even if if we didn't have the virus or everything. I wasn't going to play at all.
The virus doesn't really, right now for you, doesn't really hurt you because nobody's playing and it still gives you the opportunity to
nobody's playing, but this year, like, it went through like a year. This year counted in our contract, so it kind of does.
Gotcha.
Because to me, it was like a big year for me. I had really good plans and stuff that I wanted to do and accomplish. And this year, after my recovery, well, with the virus, we really can. But it's really tough being in rehab. But at the same time, that's when you got to get your mind straight.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So mentally,
you become mentally stronger.
It's challenging physically, right? Because you're rehabbing a body part, your elbow. But what about mentally? Like, how has it been fatiguing on you mentally?
Well, at first I was just like kind of down. I was like, man, I wish I was out there playing with my teammates, moving up a levels. But like, I took that time, and even my coaches, which they always been there for me and everybody in the org, just sit down, talk about, and think about everything that you want to do. This is where you're going to have to change your body, because I've always been a lean, like, type of skinny guy. And I've always had problem getting weight. So they said, take this time and get stronger and everything, which I have. I feel way better. The balls are coming out way better than before. So I'm just waiting to get back out there in the field and just explode like a bomb. Yeah.
When do you start throwing full? Are you already throwing now?
I'm throwing full. Yeah, I'm throwing full.
And which pitch puts the most stress on your elbow?
In my elbow, well, right now, I haven't had any type of pain or any type of like bother in my elbow because everything just feels good. But I feel like at one point it was my slider because of the way I was throwing it. Because I've noticed in some of the videos that I went back and I watched, I was going around the pitch instead of just having every pitch come out the same window, like my fastball, So I feel like since I was trying to make the pitch do more than it had to do, I feel like I hurt myself. Yeah.
Overthrowing almost. Yeah. Who sees that, by the way? Is that you just feel it and you see it from watching film? Or does a coach kind of capture that and be like, listen, this is where you got to...
They're really smart. They know their ball players. So I was remember I was pitching in the game, and my velo is like the velocity on my pitches wasn't the same that it used to be. So every game, like, it would be dropping down, and my pitching coach came up to me. He was like, hey, you okay? Like, the velocity seemed like it's dropping down. You okay? I was like, yeah, I feel fine, because at that time I didn't know what was happening. They thought I had dead arm for a little bit. It's just tired and stuff like that, fatigue. But because I never felt any pain, like my tendon like ripped a little bit. But I never felt any pain.
Where does it happen? Is it in your forearm? Is it in your elbow
It's right here. Like, you see the scar right here?
Yeah.
So they go in there. So what they did, they opened me up right here in my wrist.
Jesus.
Right here. They took out the ligament that I ripped, and took a ligament from right here. Like, you see when I do that, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
But when I do this, you see this ligament.
Yeah.
This is what they took and replaced the one in my elbow.
Right.
So that takes a little bit of time to recover.
Right. And when you come back from that, are you like the bionic man? Like you're better, faster, stronger? Are you weaker? Are you, where does that put you? Back where you were before? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, if you put the work
when
in,
you break a bone or whatever, when that bone heals, it actually heals stronger than when it was before it was broken.
I mean, it all depends how much work you put in.
Right.
Because, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some guys do the work, some don't.
Yeah.
And that reflects when you come back.
Yeah.
So if you want to get stronger, like this year, if I wanted to get stronger, everybody told me, if you want to come, you got to do all your stuff. Make sure you're doing all your routine, you're stretching a lot. It's going to take me to stretch a little bit more than the rest.
Right.
Than the rest of my teammates. For example, if they take 10 minutes, I'm probably going to take 15.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So, but you're going to get out of it whatever you put into it.
It's a process, man. It's a process. And, for anybody that has to go through that, I just feel for them but it does make you better. I think it makes you better, not just physically, but mentally, because you're having to recover, and you're having to beat something, right? That was a difficulty that was thrown at you. This is a challenge that was thrown at you. And if you can get through that and come back, then you're probably mentally stronger than you were going in.
Right.
So we're talking a lot about esports and gaming on the podcast. And how does this affect your esports and gaming? What do you play?
I like playing Call of Duty.
Okay.
I play Call of Duty, a little bit of 2K. Okay. I'm not so good in 2K, but in Call of Duty, I think I'm pretty good at Call of Duty.
Okay. When did you start playing?
I've been playing Call of Duty since Black Ops 1 came out.
Okay.
And I think this is my favorite Modern Warfare, the new one that came out right now.
Right.
I didn't play much. Modern Warfare 2, I didn't play that much. Play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
Okay.
For the PlayStation 3, kind of the old one.
Yeah.
Since then, I started playing Call of Duty, and I've always liked it.
Right. Now, is that like when you play, do the guys that you play baseball with, do you play with them? Are all athletes these days baseball players? You can't speak for all athletes, obviously, but all your friends that play, are they all gamers these days?
Yeah, most of them. Because, like, let's say, for example, after we're done with our game, we go back to the hotel, and, we just want to relax and kick. So we just play video games, and we play together. Sometimes, we be like, we get together with other baseball players from all the teams, and we play against them.
Right.
And like that. Yeah.
And is it just because it's an opportunity to kind of relax and kick back, or do you guys actually start getting really competitive just like you do on the baseball field?
We do get really competitive when it comes to gaming. Because I don't like losing. I'm really competitive.
Yeah.
So I love playing, but sometimes it's like, man. But I love playing video games. It's like, that's what I do usually during my free time.
Okay.
When I'm not working out, doing something.
Right.
I'm chilling playing video games.
So what do you got? What do you play on? What's your system? Are you on console? Are you on PC?
I'm on console. I'm on PlayStation 4 right now.
Okay. And is that typical of the guys? And when you travel, do you then go on to mobile, or are you are you a mobile gamer as well, or do you bring your console with you?
No, well, some of us we bring our console with us.
Okay.
Like we have like one of those cases that has a screen on, and you have your console, and then on the bus you have outlets, so we just connect the game on the bus, and we give it internet by the hotspots on their phone, or we use a bus Wi-Fi, and we just play. Everybody's sitting in each seat just playing on their console.
Right. So tell me, like, when you guys get to the field, when is, I guess the point is, because I have this issue with my kids, right? When is the point? When is the time that you shut down? When is the time? Meaning, when do you turn things off? Because okay, now we got to focus on what's ahead, the game. And because I actually had a conversation with a trainer the other day, a mental performance trainer, and he said some of the guys, both in gaming and in sports, because he worked with the Chicago Bulls and he also worked with Complexity.
Okay.
And he said sometimes the young guys will actually have their phones with them, and you'll see them gaming like right before the game, like in the locker room, when they should be maybe mentally preparing for the game, or going through that, what I call the interior stadium. Projecting what's going to happen out there on the court, or, So do you find that, like, is there a time when the coach basically tells you guys, baseball players, all right, we're on the bus now, everybody's got to shut down, or is it kind of up to everybody on their own, like you're an adult, you turn it off whenever you want?
No, well, with the Texas Rangers organization, an hour before the game starts, we shouldn't have any electronics out.
Right.
Or anything.
An hour before, okay.
An hour before, so you can focus and think about the game.
Okay.
Which that is like the primary thing.
Yeah.
During the season, you're there to win and play baseball.
Exactly.
you can leave the game. I love games and everything, but games comes after my career. This is my career. I'm supposed to help them win.
Yeah.
So they shut us down. No phones, nothing.
Okay.
An hour before the game.
Right.
So that way we could just all come together and talk about the game or whatever. The starting pitcher got to come out 25 or 30 minutes,
Right.
35 minutes, depending on his routine.
Yep.
Out before everybody start playing catch, warm up and stuff like that. So I was never like on the locker room playing video games like that because I have to be outside before everybody
Right.
on the days that I threw.
Yeah, man. Well, I think that's important, right? Like,
Yeah.
because I grew up an athlete as well, and I never had that opportunity or never had this distraction.
Right.
So I think when you have that distraction, somebody's got to say, listen, like as a team, this is time we got to shut that down. We got to
Right.
focus. So I love the fact that you just you shared that. So what do you do like right now? Are you doing anything as far as content creation goes, as far as streaming goes? Are you just competing or playing and just having fun with it, or do you see like gaming and esports as like some kind of opportunity? Content creation is an opportunity for you in the future.
Right now I'm just like playing with my friends and competing with them and stuff.
Okay.
But later on in the future, I want to see like where gaming could get me to. But right now I'm like more focused on my baseball
Right.
career. That's like my first thing to me right now.
Yeah.
That's like my main goal, my baseball career, because that's the only thing I've always done and the thing that I've loved the most.
Right.
My baseball. So, but hopefully with baseball works out and stuff for me. Gaming will be the one.
Yeah. MLB The Show. Do you play?
Yes, actually, my play is in the MLB The Show 2020.
You are.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
for that thing, the AA for the Texas Rangers,
Okay.
Frisco,
So
Texas.
I'm always curious about that because, again, I never had that opportunity to be in the game myself. What's your rating and how do you feel? Like, if they got you down pretty good?
My rating, I feel like they could have done a little bit better, like the way I looked.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't really care because I'm not a guy that is in the 40-man yet or is in the show yet.
Right.
So just seeing my name and my character there, feel good.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the game, the MLB The Show 2020.
Right.
I went to my cousin's house and I played, and he said, "Mira, they got your player." So I said, "Let me pitch with it." And yeah, I think they got it pretty good down.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I didn't realize in MLB The Show. So is it one of the is there a level in MLB The Show that has that, or is that a separate game that you're talking about that you're in?
No, it's just like if you go to the MLB and you want to play now, like a
Right.
regular scrimmage,
Right.
like you playing against me right now.
Right.
And you go to the Texas Rangers and they go to the farm system.
Yeah.
You go to pick
So it's
the
in the
double
farm
A.
system.
Yeah, in the double A, I should be there in the bullpen.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
And that obviously changes every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you might be on the DL right now.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. In the game as well.
No, not in the game.
Not in the
No,
game.
you can use me and pitch me in the game.
Awesome, man. So what are you doing here then? What are you doing at the Ultimate
Here,
Gamer? Who did you know? How'd you find out about it?
Miami Will.
Okay.
He's a really close friend of mine. He's like my best friend.
Okay.
And Kevin, so he told me, you want to go to, they having a game tournament. Yeah. You want to go? He's like, yeah, man, let's go. I never been to one. I want to check that out. And we're here, and this is actually nice.
Yeah.
So-
You already play?
No, I didn't play. I'm just walking around, looking around, but I might get to play. I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play.
And are you going to join the competition, the Ultimate Gamer competition? There's a $1 million prize pool. Not today, but starts September 1st.
I might.
You know a little bit about that, the Ultimate Gamer?
Yeah, they've been
Finding
telling
the
me
best
about
gamer
it.
in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good guys out there.
Yeah, it's legit.
It's a lot of good guys out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about this gamer called Marksman.
No. I mean, I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
That's my favorite gamer to look to online when I want to find out about a weapon or something. It's just use strategies wise.
Yeah.
Marksman is a guy that I go to a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, on YouTube.
There was a good question somebody just posted to me just a little while ago. But as a professional athlete right now, when you go in and you start gaming, do you think that you take that same mindset, that same mentality into gaming as you do like when you take the mound when you're pitching? So for instance, you're preparing for that game, you're playing for the Rangers and you're preparing for that game, and you get out on the mound and you've got your focus and you've got a vision of what's going on. When you get behind the remote, you're not a controller and you're getting ready to play.
Right.
You think you bring some of that and it translates over, or is it a completely different feel?
I mean, it depends because me, I like just being aggressive, but you have your time where you can be aggressive, and also the time where you got to be smart about it.
Right.
Just kind of, to me, it's kind of like a hitter.
Right.
I know when I have to be aggressive. Say if there's a hitter that is late on my fastball, I'm gonna keep attacking him with my fastball and being aggressive, just coming on top of him.
Yeah.
And there's guys that they're really good fastball hitters and guys that already know you as a pitcher.
Right.
So you gotta be smart. You gotta look into this person and be like, okay, what's his weaknesses? Curveballs and fastball in. So what do you think I'm gonna do?
Right.
I'm gonna go and hit those weaknesses that he has. I'm gonna try to get ahead in the count, come in, tie his hands up, and then come with the curveball and mess up his timing.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing you're trying to do with the opponent.
It's
Throw him off.
Yeah, because I see my kids, and my kids will know. And I don't game as much. I gamed a lot when I was younger, but I don't game as much now. But when you sit down and you game, you see strengths and weaknesses quickly, right?
Yeah.
You're competing against somebody.
Of course.
So you exactly what you're saying. Call of Duty, you may rush somebody just simply because you know, and now you've played against these guys a couple times. But it's got to be like a hitter as well when you haven't pitched against that hitter, and maybe you haven't had a chance to even do any homework on them before. You got to figure that out on the fly.
Right.
Right.
And then there's those games that you don't know anything about the opponent that you're facing, and you just have to go with whatever best thing you got.
Yeah, man.
So it's kind of similar in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think you landed on Call of Duty over like a sports title?
What do you mean?
That's what you say you play the most, right?
Call of Duty.
Yeah. So obviously you game across a number of games. That one just resonates with you. And again, I look at athletes and I'm like, sometimes there are certain athletes that love NBA players that love to play 2K, and then others that won't touch it. So why do you think Call of Duty? Is it just you like to go to action and stay away from the baseball side or sporting titles? Like when you look at esports and gaming, how do you think you find like that favorite title? You just end up playing a bunch of games and then you just land on that one because that's the one that's just the most fun for you?
Right, no, I like MLB The Show. It's just like most of my friends, they playing Call of Duty, not as much as playing MLB The Show. So, that's what kind of drags you to play with them because you want to play with your friends.
Right.
And like I said, you're always around, you know. But after that, I love playing the MLB The Show.
Yeah. No, that's
I love
a good point, though, because you think about that. You want to game. Some people like to game solo, but other people want to game like with all their buddies. So whatever they're playing.
And sometimes it's like kind of hard to find a game in MLB The Show because everybody's just playing either Call of Duty, Fortnite, playing something else. A game that is more popular,
Right.
That's how everybody's doing. So I'm just going with what is popping.
Yeah. Are you married? You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm married.
How does it affect your home life at all?
It doesn't because I know because I don't play I play for 2-3 hours, but I don't stay in the game all day.
Okay.
I usually get in the game I wake up around 9:30, I eat, go do my routine, I go run, I stretch, I go work out, I do my throwing, I throw my bullpen whenever I have to throw it. I run and stretch again after.
Okay.
And then I come back home, I eat, shower, and then I relax and play, and then after that later I have some time for my wife, watch a movie. Sometimes she falls asleep and then I get up and play my game, all night.
Yeah.
But sometimes, she be like, oh, can you give me attention, this and that. I was like, okay, that's fine. But most of the time she usually falls asleep early, so I stay up all night playing.
So you get up by 9:30. Do you go to bed at 3 or 4? Because that's one of the things I hear a lot of times.
No, I go to sleep. The latest that I've been to sleep, I'm not even going to lie. The latest I've been to sleep, there was this 1 week where I was just going to sleep every day at 5:30, 6 in the morning. But then I didn't have the energy, to perform and do my stuff. So I got to cut it down. So I haven't been going to sleep later than 2.
Okay. So you might get on 10 or 11, play till 2. Mm-hmm. But then you can shut it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can shut it down.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. I wish you all the luck, man. What you're going through with your elbow and Tommy John surgery, recovery is just a process. You seem to have your head on straight, like you're ready. Are you in? Where the Rangers? Where's their single A, double A team play?
They're in North Carolina, in Hickory, North Carolina.
Nice.
But
we have our. Now, or are you down here in Miami?
No, I live here in Miami, but we have our spring training facility in Arizona.
Okay.
Just like how the Yankees and all those places, they have them here in Florida.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, it's Arizona and Florida are the two places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're in Arizona, but where I was playing was in Hickory, North Carolina.
Okay. When will you know if you're actually ready now to come back and throw your first game?
After I'm done with my rehab, once rehab is done and I throw a couple of live BPs, which I have to throw a couple of live BPs and bullpens before I actually go into a real game.
Yeah.
Then whenever they give me the green light, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. But what time frame wise? Is that a month? Is that 6 months? Is that how far off do you think you are?
Me, I'm like probably like 2 months away.
Okay. All right.
And we're just waiting for them to call us to see when we're going back, what's going on,
Yeah, man. You gonna be around all weekend? Just today?
No, we're going to be here around all weekend.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's good to spend some time.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Jean for sharing his time, experience, and knowledge with us today. As a young professional athlete, he discussed overcoming obstacles and injuries, such a big part on the journey to success in sports. These lessons learned in traditional sports are making their way into esports as well. Practicing smarter instead of longer. Taking care of your health with a solid diet, good nutrition, appropriate rest and recovery. Physical activity, including strength and conditioning, stretching, proper form and technique, and mental preparation are all factors in the makeup of today's gamer. You can listen to Jean again now, and you can also find timestamp segments of the show, links to his social pages, and more information about his projects, and media in the show notes. If you enjoyed our discussion, please let us know. Continue the conversation with me across all social platforms and become a part of the Ultimate Gamer community today by subscribing at ultimategamer.com. We release a new show every day of the week, Monday through Friday, so be the first to join us for some outstanding upcoming guests and or dive back into the library of previous All About the Game pods to hear from some of the most brilliant minds in the space. Experts like founder of Real People Gaming, Jennifer Uchin, author of the Book of Esports and host of the Business of Esports podcast, William the Professor Collis, and director of esports at Momentum Worldwide, Tatiana Taka, just to name a few. You can find all these episodes and more on the Ultimate Gamer website, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your pods. And finally, please like, rate, and review the show. It helps us reach the gaming community to spread the word and share the wisdom of our guests, as well as some of the most thought-provoking stories in the industry. Shout out, as always, to the Ultimate Gamer. I look forward to being with you on the next All About the Game podcast.